Okay, we got our boxes. So, do you want to narrate or should I?
You're better at this. You should.
All right. So, we both got our boxes. We got 2 boxes.
Yep.
All right. And I'm just going to show you his. This is what it looks like when you open it up. It's telling you, he's going to show that while I read mine. Yep. Welcome to Ancestry DNA. Simply complete the following steps and let the discovery begin. We access our kit online. And what else? Then we gather our DNA. So step 1 is simply activating our kit online. We can't skip that step. We go to Ancestry.com and activate. Then we get our activation code. From the collection tube, we gather the data, and in 6 to 8 weeks from the time they get the sample, the test will be completed. So I guess we just wanted to show you guys exactly what that looks like. That's the little pamphlet. I don't think we should show you like all of the barcodes and everything, but let me get this. Okay. In the DNA, it's in the box, they have the kit like this, where you get your tube and your sample, and here's where the box would be that you mail off. I think that's pretty straightforward. And here is your collection bag. So that's it for like the unveiling of the box. Okay, so today is April 2nd, and we just got our test. We showed you like the opening for it. Now we're going to give you like our official guesses. On this side is going to be Roy's guess, and on this side is going to be my guess. So, I would say as far as my guess is anticipated because although I know both of my parents are from Florida and most of their family history seems to be in Florida, I do also know that my dad, his biological father, we don't know much about him, but the one thing that I have heard about him is that he was from the Caribbean, so that may influence some of my results. I took that into consideration, and I guess I should reveal mine. My guess for me would be 75% African with a concentration in maybe Senegal, Congo, or Cameroon. Also, I put 20% European, simply because, well, slavery. I know I'm an African-American woman, and I also know, since the one thing I do know about my father's father is that he is from the Caribbean, that comes from different European countries. So I put the United States and France. Not United States, United Kingdom and France for European. I put 5% other, just to kind of make room for any other occurrences in my family tree that I may not know about. And so I included the 5% in indigenous American, Asian, and Pacific Islander heritages, and as part of my DNA. Roy also took a guess as to my DNA composition, and he said he thinks I'm 75% African, so we agree on that. But his African countries were Ghana, Nigeria, and Congo. I know he based this partly on the fact that most African Americans, their ancestors who were brought here as slaves, usually came from these areas. Am I right?
Yeah. And like in the Caribbean, like for whatever reason, a lot of people from Nigeria, got sent to the Caribbean.
Yeah. And so I'm still trying to factor in my father's heritage. in ethnic makeup. And then he says I am 15% European in the UK, France, and Spain. And the Spain comes from, again, the Caribbean. Usually Spain took their slaves to the Caribbean, and the UK and France kind of split between the two. And he says I am 10% Indigenous American. I know that my great, I think my great or great-great-grandmother, I was told, and I've seen a picture, she was full-blooded Indigenous American. I may ask my dad to send me a picture of it so I can show you guys in the update. But I know for at least that much, so that may show up in my chemical makeup. That was his guess for me. So we're going to go to his guess.
Oh, careful.
Okay, here's his guess. So why don't you explain yours?
Let's see. My guess was 80% African. Cause, well, I mean, like I kind of feel like my makeup or whatever, it's mostly like African, you know, and just the fact that, you know, I guess the genes tend to like predominate a lot. And I chose Ivory Coast, Congo, and Ghana because like my whole family tree, it's like at least for the last 200 years, it's from Georgia, and before that, you know, like Africa, and a lot of the Africans who got sent to the U.S. came from like Ghana and like more so like Central Africa, so like Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Congo. And there may be some other like Congolese countries in there too. Who knows? I put 10% Indigenous American. It may be less than that when we get the results, but I do know for a fact that I have like Indigenous ancestors. One of my grandmas or great grandmothers, excuse me, even had the name Hase. And in like the kind of Creek Indian languages, that means sunrise. So, and she's just like one example, maybe a little lower than 10%. And I put 10% European, UK. Well, I guess this is kind of a complicated thing from a result of slavery, but I do know for a fact that I also have European ancestors. So that's something to consider in the mix too. Want to show your guess too?
Yeah, here are my guesses.
Yeah. Okay, so the numbers aren't too off, I guess, but let's see. My wife thinks I'm about 72% African. She mixed up the countries. She thinks maybe more so like Rwanda, Nigeria, and Ghana. Oh, Nigeria's. I have been told that like I look Igbo by some of my like Nigerian co-workers, friends. Well, they're Yoruba, but you never know. 18% European, UK, and she added in maybe Spain. I don't know. You never know. I know about the UK part anyway. 5% Indigenous American. That sounds about right too. And 5% just kind of factoring in something else, like maybe Middle Eastern, like by way of like Israel or Kuwait. Again, like I mentioned earlier, like my family is like just from like Georgia, and a lot of people don't know this. There were a lot of like Jewish people who migrated in Georgia's early history, you know, to the U.S. So that's something to consider. Anything else, Cookie?
No, I just want to give you guys just the overview. We're going to keep this on our fridge, and when we get our test results, we're going to definitely compare and see who was closer, not only in their own guess, but in the others' guess. Tell me what you guys may think. We may put up a picture of ourselves side by side so that you guys can just kind of guess. I'm very excited. This is fun.
Oh, me too.
It'll help us get kind of closer to, you know, our heritage. So thank you guys for watching this breakdown. We'll be back with another segment, I guess, pretty soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.